Hey there! Today we're going to talk all about tools and the tools that you need to run a successful market garden. And we don't really have that many tools on the farm here, and we've really stripped it down to the bare minimum. And I'm going to show you and go through all the tools that I think are important. And just to give you a little bit of perspective, if you're new to the channel here, we are going to be farming on just over 1/4 of an acre, just to give you a little bit of perspective. So I'm going to take you in the tool shed, show you all the tools, and talk about how I've really tried to minimize the amount of tools. And I think this is going to be helpful for you guys if you're looking to start out or maybe pick up a new tool and see if it's actually important, all those things. So we're going to go through all the tools. Let's go check it out. All right, we're inside the tool shed here, and I really want to stress the importance of not having too many tools for a few reasons. One is it just makes your storage area a lot less cluttered, makes decision making easier when you have to go to grab a tool. It's also less things to buy and maintain and replace and keep track of, all those sorts of things. So we've really whittled it down to just a few tools, and I'm going to share those with you here. And you can see here behind me that everything is pretty well laid out. Everything's got a spot, so if something's missing, you know it's missing. When you come back, you know exactly where to put it. And everything that we use regularly is right here, right next to the door, so when you come in, it's easy to grab. So these are all things that are important. But let's really talk about the actual tools. I did a video last year about the tools I was using at Satin Hill Farm, and it's changed a little bit, but I just want to show you really what we're using. And also, to put this in perspective, we are a no-till market garden, so we are we don't have a tiller, we don't even have a BCS. It's pretty much all hand tools. And so let me show you what we got here. One thing, and I will put links down below for all the things that I mentioned here. I'll put a link down below for. This is the tilther. I've talked about this in several videos. It is not an absolute must when you start a farm, but I really love it, and I think it just works really well in our system here. So you could definitely get away with a rake, especially if you're a little bit pinched for money, but I really do like it. You're also going to need a nice powerful drill. I like the DeWalt's. This is one of their newer brushless ones, and get a couple of big batteries. The tilther burns through batteries. And you also need a good drill for your greens harvester too, which we'll talk about later. So we also got a Broadfork. We got the landscape rake. So this one, 36-inch wide landscape rake. Johnny sells a 30-inch one, but I actually have gotten to love the 36-inch one. It's also a lot cheaper. We got just a normal hard rake, which we use once in a while just for random jobs, and then like leveling out compost after we've done it with the wheelbarrow. So it's good to have just a regular rake. These are the two hoes that we're using now. I just did a video about the fact that we don't use a hula hoe, scuffle hoe, stirrup hoe, whatever you want to call it. These are the weeders. We're using the collinear hoe and then the mutineer, which we just got as a gift. So these are the two hoes that we're using. Over here we got the Jang JP1. So I highly recommend getting one of these seeders. I think this is a must if you're starting a market garden. A lot of people will start with the Earthway, which you guys see over here, which I already owned, and I have it down here just for a couple of small things that I don't have the right rollers for or whatever for the Jang. But I really think that the Jang is an absolute must when you get started on your farm. It's going to save you so much time because you're not going to be thinning, you're going to get better germination, accurate seed densities, and it's just so easy to use, and the grind doesn't have to be perfect. I can't say enough about it. I think if you talk to anyone who owns one, they'll say the same thing. I think the Jang seeder is an absolute must. These guys here, these are like a 10 Tine Rake, 10 Tine Rake, or whatever you want to call this guy. I got this at Home Depot or Lowe's. This is great for moving compost and wood chips. This isn't really a digging fork whatsoever. We have two of these because we use them all the time, and often we're moving a lot of material at once. 5-gallon buckets. I'm gonna get real specific here. That's most of what we use. A couple of wheelbarrows, and there's a couple things behind the camera, so let me turn it around and show you guys. So there's a little bit more tools and it's a little bit of clutter back here, but this is a pretty organized space and we like to keep it that way. There was a lot of tools on the farm when I got here, and we've gotten rid of a lot of them that were broken, but we do have some extras just in case we have a big work day or something like that, and these are all like, you know, in good working order, so we kept them. One thing that I like is a T-post driver. What a solid little investment, not expensive. A tape measure like this. We use this pretty much every day on the farm for transplanting, measuring out beds. Man, great little investment. I would say besides that, a couple of just, you know, digging shovels are great. A lot of these tools over here we really don't use. As I said, these are a lot of tools over here. That's really all the hand tools for the most part. Over behind me here, I have a mechanical scale that I use for weighing out amendments, and you can use it in the field for weighing out buckets. And really, guys, that's all the hand tools on the farm. It's super simple. Let me show you a couple other things, and a couple of things you're gonna need for when you start up the farm. All right, so that was pretty much all the hand tools that we use on the farm, and that's how many of them we have, and we generally have a couple people working here at a time, so you can see that there really aren't that many tools. And I have some other tools that I have bought that I don't use, but that's really just it right now. And I think every year I go through farming, I just remove a tool or two. I just, as simple as possible, so that when you go in there to look for something, there isn't much to look through. It's very easy to keep organized, all the stuff I just mentioned. But a lot of people are curious about what tools you're using, or I'm using, and so there you go, that's it. Another thing which I mentioned before is the quick cut greens harvester. This, I think, is an absolute must for a market gardener. This is from Farmer's Friend. This is, if you're doing any baby greens whatsoever, if you talk to anyone who's ever used this, they'll say the same thing, absolute must. And again, you're gonna need a drill to run this. But these are great, so it's another awesome tool. I'm over here in the wash station here, and this isn't necessarily a tool, but I just want to add this in, that there's other things when you're starting a farm, or if you're looking to fill in missing pieces, is make sure you have a really good wash station. And so this one is set up for washing greens. We got our bubbler over here, the spinner, drying screen here. We got a pack table over here. Super efficient. Need a lot of field, a lot of tubs. We have them labeled as field and clean, so the field totes will go out there and they can get dirty. The clean ones, we only put clean stuff in. And the other thing you're gonna need is cold storage of some sort. And so for that, we have a refrigerator trailer with an air conditioner and a cool bot. Most of you guys are familiar with that sort of setup, but make sure you have a place to keep your vegetables cold. Another thing that I have over here, I have a root wash station, so it's just a screen. This is actually an old bathtub that was here before, but you know, we can just spray things out there if it's totes or trays or vegetables, just another area we can be washing stuff. All right, well, that's pretty much all the tools we have on the farm here. And other things to mention is make sure you have an irrigation system with a timer. Timers are awesome, especially when you go away for a day, or you don't want to go to the farm, or you just forget. Trust me, sometimes you just forget. And you're also really consistent. Like if you want to water 3 times a day for 15 minutes, then it'll do that every day for you, so that's great. Also a silage tarp on the field, and which we have out here, so I'm not gonna show you, but other things are just nursery stuff. You're gonna need like trays and a place to set that up. So those are the other things you're gonna need, and a nursery to start your plants. But you know, I really just want to take you guys inside the shed today, show you the tools, really show you how minimal of a setup we have, and really, it just don't have clutter. Like, have it clean and organized. You know, when you walk into the tool shed, it shouldn't be like an effort to find what you need. It should be like, oh, there's the thing. I know exactly where it is. It's ready to go. And it also makes it easier when you're going in there and making decisions about what you need. You don't have to make it. It's like, well, I'm gonna flip a bed, so I grab these 2 tools or whatever you need. And so make sure you're putting some thought into that. I think we all get carried away with a new gadget or a new tool or a new toy. And you can spend a lot of money on it and then use it once or twice and then realize it doesn't work for your system, or you know, it complicates things or whatever. And so to that point also, we don't have a paper pot system here, and partly the reason there is that we just don't do that many transplants. It's just pretty simple. If we're only transplanting out, you know, a couple of beds a week, it's really not a big deal on this size farm. For that amount of money, I could buy some tunnels or some other cool stuff. So that's it, guys. I just want to show you what's in the tool shed today, and show you, you know, where I'm at with tools on the farm. And hopefully this helps you guys if you're looking to start a market garden, or you're looking for some tools to buy or not buy. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.